We often think of strength as the ability to withstand great force without breaking, but true strength, as the Stoics taught us, isn't just about enduring. It's about thriving because of adversity, not in spite of it. This idea, known as antifragility, goes beyond mere resilience. The Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius weren't just surviving tough times, they were transforming every obstacle into an opportunity for personal growth. Today, we're diving deep into how adopting a Stoic mindset can not only change the way you face challenges but can fundamentally transform your approach to life. This isn't just philosophy, it's a practical guide to turning life's inevitable hardships into your greatest advantages. So if you're ready to learn how to harness the chaos of life into a ladder to climb higher, keep watching as we explore the robust world of Stoicism and antifragility. If you appreciate what we're delving into today, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and don't skip any part of the video, as every piece builds on the last to transform your understanding of strength through Stoicism. In our pursuit of happiness, we might assume that the more directly we seek it, the more of it we'll grasp. However, the reality, as Stoic philosophy suggests, is quite counterintuitive. Happiness, much like a butterfly, tends to elude those who chase it with the most fervor. Stoicism teaches us that happiness results not from direct pursuit but as a byproduct of living a life according to virtue. It proposes a lifestyle of focusing on what's within our control, our actions, reactions, and personal virtues, rather than external outcomes. The Stoics, including thinkers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, emphasize the importance of aligning one's actions with moral values, suggesting that true contentment comes from a character well crafted, not from transient pleasures or successes. Take, for example, the Stoic practice of focusing on the present moment and accepting things as they are, not as we wish them to be. This approach diminishes the frustrations that arise from unmet expectations, which are often at the heart of our unhappiness. Stoicism anchors us, providing a philosophical steadiness that can help navigate the highs and lows of life with equanimity. Another key Stoic principle is that of amor fati, or the love of one's fate. This concept encourages embracing everything that happens to us, including suffering and loss, as not only necessary but beneficial to our growth and happiness. This perspective flips the script on what it means to be happy. It is not the absence of challenges but the ability to integrate and transform them into personal growth that defines true happiness. In this light, the paradox of happiness reveals itself fully. By not fixating on happiness as a goal to be achieved but rather as a natural outcome of living wisely and well, we open ourselves to a deeper, more enduring form of joy, one that is not shaken by the external shifts of fortune. It's about making a profound peace with the world as it is and finding in that peace a steady stream of joy that is not contingent on the whims of circumstance. So, if we reorient our journey towards building resilience, cultivating virtue, and embracing life's trials as opportunities for growth, we find that happiness sneaks in through the back door, quietly and without fanfare, enriching our lives in ways we might never have expected. This Stoic view offers not just a strategy for dealing with life's inevitable struggles but transforms our entire approach to living, making us not just seekers of happiness but finders of profound joy. This idea invites us into a transformative approach to life's unpredictabilities, a concept that goes much deeper than mere resilience. While resilience is about bouncing back to your original form after stress or failure, antifragility speaks to something more dynamic. It's about becoming stronger and more capable because of the challenges and stresses we face, not just surviving them but thriving as a result. In the realm of Stoic philosophy, this concept finds a natural resonance. Stoicism teaches us to not only accept but to embrace the trials we encounter. Think of the famous Stoic metaphor of the fire. Just as fire consumes obstacles and thereby grows, a person can use challenges as fuel for personal growth and improvement. The Stoics emphasize that every hardship or setback is an opportunity to practice virtues like patience, courage, and resilience, turning potential negatives into positives. Antifragility is about exposing yourself to controlled stressors to enhance your capability to handle greater challenges. It's akin to immunizing oneself against the volatility of life. For instance, the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort, such as taking cold showers or fasting, prepares one to handle involuntary discomfort with greater poise and strength. Moreover, antifragility is not just a personal quality but can be applied to systems, organizations, and societies. A business, for example, that learns and grows from failures, think of startups pivoting based on user feedback, is antifragile. It adapts and evolves in ways that make it more robust and innovative. Embracing antifragility means acknowledging that while we cannot control every aspect of our lives, we can control our responses. We can choose to see every difficulty as a stepping stone to greater wisdom and strength. It's about making a strategic shift from merely enduring life to actively engaging with it, using each challenge as a catalyst for growth. This Stoic-inspired perspective encourages us not just to survive the storms of life but to dance in the rain, knowing that with each step we become more adept at navigating life's complexities. At the heart of Stoicism is the belief that we must differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot, focusing our energy solely on the former. This perspective is crucial for developing an anti-fragile mindset because it redirects our efforts from futile resistance to inevitable change towards adaptive and proactive growth. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This involves mentally preparing for potential challenges by envisioning worst-case scenarios. Far from being a pessimistic exercise, this practice equips us with a sense of readiness and calm when facing actual adversities. By anticipating difficulties, we reduce their psychological impact and transform our fear into a strategic advantage. This practice aligns perfectly with the concept of antifragility as it encourages us to see potential setbacks not as threats but as opportunities for strengthening our resolve and capabilities. Another core Stoic principle is amor fati, or the love of fate. This idea encourages us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, including the hardships, with acceptance and even love. By welcoming the totality of our experiences, we stop resisting the inevitable and start using every situation as a lesson and a tool for growth. This principle teaches us to harness the inherent chaos of life, turning it into a source of strength and resilience. When we love our fate, we become anti-fragile because we no longer see challenges as obstacles to our happiness but as integral parts of our journey towards personal development. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Living a virtuous life means consistently aligning our actions with these principles, regardless of external circumstances. This unwavering commitment to virtue builds an inner fortress that external events cannot easily shake. For example, courage enables us to face our fears and take risks, which is essential for growth and adaptation. Wisdom helps us to discern the right course of action in the face of uncertainty, ensuring that we make decisions that enhance our anti-fragility. Furthermore, the Stoic idea of voluntary discomfort plays a significant role in building anti-fragility. By deliberately exposing ourselves to discomfort such as fasting, cold exposure, or physical challenges, we train our minds and bodies to handle stress more effectively. This controlled exposure to adversity strengthens our capacity to deal with unexpected hardships, much like how muscles grow stronger through resistance training. It's a practical application of the principle that what does not kill us makes us stronger, a cornerstone of anti-fragility. The Stoic approach to emotions also contributes to anti-fragility. Rather than being ruled by our emotions, Stoics advocate for acknowledging and then mastering them. By practicing mindfulness and rational analysis, we can understand our emotional responses and mitigate their impact on our behavior. This emotional resilience allows us to stay composed and make better decisions under pressure, further enhancing our anti-fragility. Stoic principles provide a robust framework for developing anti-fragility. By accepting what we cannot control, preparing for adversity, embracing our fate, living virtuously, seeking voluntary discomfort, and mastering our emotions, we turn life's challenges into powerful catalysts for growth. This Stoic wisdom transforms us from mere survivors into individuals who thrive in the face of adversity, embodying the true spirit of anti-fragility. When we perceive challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we succumb to stress and anxiety. However, when we view these same challenges as opportunities to test and strengthen our resolve, we become empowered and resilient. Consider the Stoic practice of cognitive reframing, which involves changing the way we interpret events. For instance, instead of viewing a job loss as a devastating blow, a Stoic might see it as an opportunity to pursue new and perhaps more fulfilling career paths. This shift in perspective does not change the reality of the job loss but transforms the emotional and psychological impact it has on the individual. By reframing our perceptions, we can mitigate the negative effects of stress and harness the potential for personal growth. Another key aspect of Stoic perception is the idea that our opinions about events are more important than the events themselves. Epictetus stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle teaches us that our emotional reactions are determined by our judgments and beliefs about what has happened rather than by the events themselves. By challenging and changing these judgments, we can alter our emotional responses and become more resilient. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of mindfulness in managing perception. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment and observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more aware of our automatic reactions to stress and develop the ability to respond more thoughtfully and deliberately. This awareness allows us to catch negative thought patterns and replace them with more constructive ones, fostering a mindset of antifragility. Furthermore, the Stoic practice of negative visualization can help us develop a healthier perspective on adversity. This technique involves imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare for potential difficulties. By regularly contemplating the possibility of loss or failure, we become less fearful of these outcomes and more appreciative of what we have. This practice not only reduces anxiety but also helps us to build mental resilience by normalizing the idea of adversity. The Stoic approach to emotions also contributes to antifragility. Rather than being ruled by our emotions, Stoics advocate for acknowledging and then mastering them. By practicing mindfulness and rational analysis, we can understand our emotional responses and mitigate their impact on our behavior. This emotional resilience allows us to stay composed and make better decisions under pressure, further enhancing our antifragility. Stoic principles provide a robust framework for developing antifragility. By accepting what we cannot control, preparing for adversity, embracing our fate, living virtuously, seeking voluntary discomfort, and mastering our emotions, we turn life's challenges into powerful catalysts for growth. This Stoic wisdom transforms us from mere survivors into individuals who thrive in the face of adversity, embodying the true spirit of antifragility. When we perceive challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we succumb to stress and anxiety. However, when we view these same challenges as opportunities to test and strengthen our resolve, we become empowered and resilient. Consider the Stoic practice of cognitive reframing, which involves changing the way we interpret events. For instance, instead of viewing a job loss as a devastating blow, a Stoic might see it as an opportunity to pursue new and perhaps more fulfilling career paths. This shift in perspective does not change the reality of the job loss but transforms the emotional and psychological impact it has on the individual. By reframing our perceptions, we can mitigate the negative effects of stress and harness the potential for personal growth. Another key aspect of Stoic perception is the idea that our opinions about events are more important than the events themselves. Epictetus stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle teaches us that our emotional reactions are determined by our judgments and beliefs about what has happened rather than by the events themselves. By challenging and changing these judgments, we can alter our emotional responses and become more resilient. In addition, the Stoic focus on virtue as the highest good reshapes our perception of success and failure. Instead of measuring our worth by external achievements or the absence of hardships, we evaluate ourselves based on our adherence to virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice. This shift in values helps us to maintain a sense of purpose and self-worth even in the face of setbacks. It encourages us to view challenges as opportunities to practice and strengthen our virtues, thereby enhancing our antifragility. Stoic principles also teach us to accept the impermanence of all things. By recognizing that everything in life is temporary, we can develop a more balanced perspective on both positive and negative events. This acceptance reduces our attachment to outcomes and helps us to remain steady and composed regardless of external circumstances. In this way, Stoicism fosters a mindset that is less susceptible to the fluctuations of fortune and more focused on inner stability and growth. By adopting a Stoic approach to perception, we can transform our relationship with adversity. Through cognitive reframing, mindfulness, negative visualization, and a focus on virtue, we learn to see challenges not as threats but as opportunities for growth and development. This shift in perception is a crucial step in becoming anti-fragile, as it empowers us to navigate life's uncertainties with resilience, wisdom, and gr.